Hey guys, so in this video we have an epic battle report lined up for you today. This is an ITC style mission, 2,000 points, and we have got the Harlequins versus
Imperium Soup.
So this ITC mission is the Crucible
of Champions.
Crucible of Champions. This is... I'm the Crucible of Champions.
We'll see.
So for this mission, as we've said, we've got the Harlequins with a little sprinkle of Dark Eldar. Just a little sprinkle, not too much, so a slight soupage. And you're running also a slight soupage as well.
Yeah, so we're mostly guards, about 1,500 points of guard, with just a little knight thrown in for good measure.
Just a little baby one.
A little.
So we're going to go over the lists very shortly, but let's just cover the mission very quickly. There are 5 objectives, and they're already predetermined on the map. We don't know as of yet which deployment map we're going for. We haven't picked size, anything like that yet. So just to recap on ITC point scoring. You get 1 point if you control an objective. You get another point if you've killed something in your turn. You also then are up for grabs are some bonus points.
Yep.
One of those bonus points is if you killed more units than your opponent killed in that same battle round. And you can score another bonus point if you held more objectives at the end of that battle round compared to your opponent.
Yep.
Which will be me.
Absolutely.
You then get an additional bonus point in this mission, the Crucible of Champions, if you have a model with the character keyword on an objective, and you need to have that 3 times basically. So 3 characters on 3 different objectives.
Yeah.
And you get another bonus point. So there are potentially 5 points up for grabs every single turn. And then what you also have are secondary missions. And there is, I think, 11 different ones you can pick from.
Yeah.
We have covered this in previous videos, so do check that out. So the secondaries you've chosen are?
Yeah, so I've gone with Recon. So effectively a point for having a unit in each corner of the board each turn.
Call to the board up.
Yep.
And if you have a model in one of those quarters, then that model from that unit controls that one. So then you need a different unit in another quarter. And once you've got one model or unit in every single quarter, you get that point up to a maximum of 4. So you can only score, you'd have to do that for 4 turns basically. They don't need to be consecutively. You could get it in the first turn, then in turn 3, 5, and 6.
Yeah. I'll go first 4 turns, it's fine.
Okay, and the ITC is a fixed 6 turns, which I personally really like.
Yeah, a bit more predictable.
Yep.
Coming round to it.
So what are the secondaries you've gone
for? I've gone with Old School. Again, I'm very much an ETC style player, so I'm not that familiar with ITC yet. So yeah, Old School, which is something a bit more familiar to me. So that is effectively First Blood, First Strike, Last Strike, Line Breaker, and Stable Warlord.
Yeah.
So point for each of those.
Last Strike is making sure you've killed something in the last turn of the game, so turn 6.
Yep. And then the last one that I've gone for, I've completely forgotten.
Ground Control.
Ground Control. Might be an error.
Yeah.
So again, that's a point for each objective that I hold at the end of the game.
Up to a maximum of 4.
Yeah.
So your secondaries, you pick 3. Each one you can cap out at 4 points.
Yep.
So that's a maximum of 12 points up for grabs.
Yep. And I will just say, I have no idea how to pick secondaries against Steve's army because
it doesn't
I
give
think
away
he's only
many.
got 2 units which are like greater than power level 7, so I can't really do Mark for Death. He hasn't got enough models for like Reaper to make sense. He hasn't got anything with more than 10 wounds, so basically I'm not going to score many secondaries. I, on the other hand, have an army that may give up just a few.
Yeah, so I've gone for Reaper, which is for every 20 models killed. And Harlequins are quite good at chopping down or chopping off heads of infantry.
Yeah,
so
I got 90 of those.
Yep, that'll be useful. I'm also going for Kingslayer. So I pick a character, and as Dan is obviously running a character knight, for every 4 wounds I take off that knight,
Gets a point.
I get a point. I don't even need to kill the knight completely.
Yeah.
I just need to take off 16 wounds, and then I max that out on one target, which is fantastic.
And you might have a little bit of haywire to help with that.
Little smidge of haywire.
Yeah.
And then I'm also going for Recon because I'm super quick. I can be everywhere, and it would just kind of not make. I mean, we'll review this at the end, and we'll do a review if we actually pick the right secondary. So that'll be really interesting. Because again, we're getting used to this as primarily ETC players, but it is it's one of my goals this year. Because I want to go to the LVO in 2020 to score as many ITC points as I possibly can. So the more I can get familiar with this, the better. So, the lists.
The lists. Where are we starting? Is it me?
We'll start with you.
Right, so I am running, as I say, mostly Imperial Guard with a little sprinkling of knights. So to start with, I've got a Cadian battalion. And in that battalion, I've got 3 units of 10 infantry. And then I've got tank commanders, 3 tank commanders and Pask. Then they've all got battle cannons. One of the guys has got heavy bolters and sponsons, but that's it because I ran out of points. Then I've got a Kashchan brigade, which fairly kind of standard. I've got 60 infantry in there. I've got Strachan. I've got a priest, a couple of astropaths.
And just remind the guys what Katachans do.
So the Katachan, effectively their like trait, their chapter tactic as it were, is +1 strength. So it makes all my guardsmen strength 4, and also +1 leadership, which comes in handy when I'm losing a lot like guardsmen left, right and centre. Yeah, so the rest of that brigade, as I say, got a couple of company commanders in there, and then I've got 3 units of 3 mortars, and 3 armoured sentinels. So yeah, basically I've got a lot of bodies. I've got in total 90 infantry, split between Cadian and Katachan.
And what do Cadians do?
Cadians reroll 1s if they stand still. It's not doing a lot on my infantry, to be honest. It's not very useful, but on the tank commanders, that helps a little bit. And it also gives me access to the stratagem overlapping fields of fire. So once I've inflicted a wound on something with a Cadian model, I can pay 2 CPs to give me +1 to hit on that unit for anything else that's Cadian. So it just makes tank commanders and Pask a little bit more efficient. And then the last part of my list is a Crast Crusader.
Yeah. And this is a super heavy auxiliary detachment.
Yeah.
So you won't get the Crast benefit, which is reroll hits in combat.
Yeah.
But what you do get is access to their stratagems and relics, and also it is quest Mechanicus. So for 1 CP, you can fight on full bracket.
Yeah, exactly. So I think with a single knight, this is something that I've stolen from Steve. I think with a single knight, especially a Crusader, the Crast tends to work pretty well. Gives him some good options. So he's running with a thermal cannon because he didn't quite have enough points for the battle cannon, and 4-up Inva as his trait. And then he's got
Ironstorm missile pod.
Ironstorm missile pods in his carapace. So they're the 72-inch range, D6 shots, strength 5, -1, 2 damage. No line of sight, so just again quite a handy little bit of extra shooting. And he's got Endless Fury, the relic Gatling cannon, which is 14 shots, strength 6,
and 6 is
double. Yeah, double hits. So yeah, he can do a bit of work. We'll see what Steve's got though, because I think he's got the answers for this.
So who is your warlord?
My warlord is going to be a company commander.
Company commander, and what warlord trait?
And his warlord trait is Old Grudges.
Old Grudges.
Which effectively lets me pick a unit in Steve's army after deployment, and any of my Imperial Guard models within 6 of him will be re-rolling wounds on that unit.
Cool.
So yeah, I'll figure out what that's going to be once we've deployed.
Nice.
Right, Steve, over to you.
So my Harlequin list, what I have is 3 detachments. The first battalion is a battalion of the Harlequins, which is the Frozen Stars, which gives me +1 attack on the charge. And in that detachment, I have 2 units of 5 Harlequins, and they have 2 kisses, which is basically a little bit extra strength, D3 damage. I've also then got a massive blob of 12 with 5 kisses in. I then got a Troop Master with a kiss. I then also have a Shadow Seer, which can move a unit again, and I can also pick an enemy unit with an 18 and make it -1 to hit, which will be really helpful on that, for example, Crast Knight. I've also got a Solitaire in the list, and what I'm going to give him is a relic. So that is going to be the Star Miss Raymond, which means that he cannot be overwatched which is going to be really, really helpful in this matchup, as you can probably gather. Now the next thing as well is that Shadowseer is my Warlord, and he is going to have the Warlord trait, the Player of Twilights, and once per battle you can re-roll a hit, wound or save for your Warlord. In addition, if your Warlord if your army is battle forged and your Warlord is on the battlefield, you roll a d6 every time you or your opponent uses a stratagem, and if the number is exactly the same as the cost of the stratagem, I get that many back. So if I use a 3 CP stratagem and I roll a 3, I get all 3 back that turn, which is absolutely fantastic. And it is one of the only relics where you can get more than 1 CP back per turn. Once you've got it, however, you can't then get any more. So it does have that opportunity if you do strike lucky, which isn't my particular play style as a lucky player, but hey, people can change, and hopefully my dice roll will. So I've then got another battalion of Harlequins, and this is Soaring Spite. So this allows me, if I have a pistol in a flying vehicle, allows me to use it as an assault, and I do not get the negatives to hit as well if I move in advance. And also if a unit has the fly keyword, if it moves in advance, again, like for example Haywire Bikes, it also doesn't suffer the penalties for moving, which is absolutely fantastic. And then I've got 2 Troop Masters with a KISS and also a fusion pistol, and the 3 units of troops have just got 5 fusion pistols each, and they are loaded up into 3 Star Weavers. And then also in that detachment I have a Death Jester, which is basically he's able to shoot characters from range, and he's a character which is pretty cool. And then I've got a Outrider detachment, and this is the Dark Eldar, a little bit different. Now one of the weaknesses of the Harlequins is that an opponent is able to fall back from combat, and then I'm in a lot of trouble. So after doing a bit of a SWOT analysis on my army, which is something that we teach on our mentoring ship through Vanguard Tactics on our Patreon, is really critically understanding what your list can do, what it suffers from, and how to fill those gaps. So I've gone for a Cult of Red Grief Succubus with a Shardnet and Impaler, which basically means she can advance in charge, and also I can basically force my opponent to roll off and beat me on a dice. But because I've got the Shardnet on Impaler, they only get to use a D3 and I get to use a D6. So the likelihood is I'm going to stop my opponent from actually falling back, and it's going to keep my Harlequins a lot safer. And because she can advance in charge, she should hopefully be able to keep up with all the Harlequins on foot or that are deep striking or whatever it might be. And then I've also got 3 units of Scourges, and 2 units have just got the regular 18-inch Assault 3 poison weapons, and then another unit has got Haywire, just to give a little bit extra punch, just to help out the bikes, because the bikes are fantastic, a unit of 6, but really to deal with a vehicle in 1 turn, you just need a little bit extra support. So that's why I've got the fusion pistols in, and then this little dash of extra Haywire. And these guys are great because they can deep strike in, out of range, they get a good save when they're in cover, which is a 3-up, and they just really, really mobile and super fast. So the list, hopefully I've mapped it out so I'm covering all my bases where I'm weak, like avoiding overwatch, you know, trapping units in combat, and also having enough firepower and also combat ability with the speed and mobility to make sure I can crush this Imperium list. So let's roll some dice to see what's going to happen next. We need to now basically roll for the deployment type, and then we need to pick some sides and then deploy some armies over to the game. One thing we completely forgot to mention is if you would like a copy of our lists, head over to www.vanguardtactics.com, sign up for our email, and what I'm going to do is email you straight away with all the links that you need. You'll be able to get all of those lists that we use for the channel in clear detail. The other thing that we've got is a cheat sheet for the Crass Knight, and that is completely free. So
let's do it.
Let's do it. So we've just finished deployment, and we drew Hammer and Anvil deployment zone. So I have got this quarter or half, and Dan has, look at those pretty patterns.
Making shapes.
That is a lot of boys over there. So let me just quickly run through where the objectives are. We've got basically a diamond pattern with one bang in the center. Then what I've got is 3 units of Scourges in Deep Strike, another unit of troops in Deep Strike, which I had to pay 1 CP for. I've then got 2 Star Weavers and units over here with the Fusion, another one behind that line of sight blocking piece of terrain. I put my bikes 24 inches, hoping to get first turn, and then I've got my unit of 12 with my basically all of my characters inside over there. Then over to Dan, what we've got is some Sentinels on the left hand side here. We've got all of his boys, then 3 tank commanders at the back from the old Catagen, 1 Cadian,
So we've got 1 Catachan and 2 Cadian and Pask.
Okay, cool. And then we've also then got the Knight in the corner over there. So that's the lay of the land. Now we just need to roll for who goes first. One thing I forgot to mention is that I spent 1 CP on the Relic Star Weaver, which is going to be this nicely painted one with the ball on the back, which gives him extra movement, and if he explodes he doesn't destroy. And then also I just swapped one of the psychic powers out for, instead of casting on enemy unit, I'm going to cast it on myself on an infantry unit, so that they become -1 to hit. So that's the only alterations that we made. Did you want to swap anything at this stage?
No, so I spent 3 CPs pre-game, so I spent 2 on the Knight for the Relic and the Warlord, and I spent 1 for the Catachans to make them an infantry company.
So how many are you left with now?
So that leaves me with 17 to start the game, and Curves Aquila, so I'm regenerating when you spend yours.
Okay, so you've got 17?
Yeah, 17.
And I am down to 12. So I started on 14 and I've spent 2. Right, time to roll to see who goes first. Right, where should we roll? Over here.
So Steve's got the +1.
Here we go. Oh, and I've got a 3!
Question is,
Woo!
can I seize?
Can you? Well, that is the question. Can you seize?
Let's see.
Don't you dare.
Oh, he hasn't done it.
Where is that?
Do you want me to re-roll?
Hang on.
Worth a try, right? Worth a try.
Let me re-roll it just for camera.
Just you know, people want to see.
That's it.
Okay.
You technically should do that. If you roll a dice behind a piece of terrain that your opponent can't see, you probably should re-roll it. Just
re-roll it if you like.
But no, it's fine because I can move and see that, mate. That's okay.
No problem. Sound. So first turn to the Harlequins.
Do I want to go first? Yes, I do. Here we go then.
Let's see what happens.
Haywire over there. Boom. So it's my first turn, and what I've done is my Harlequin unit that was the infantry were here. They've just moved forward. Now, I cast a psychic power on them to move again, and that literally got me right into this point here. I could have moved them over a lot more, but Dan, this could be a mistake that he's made, is left me a pretty much I need to roll a 6 to get in there, because I'm not quite 7 inches away from that unit of guardsmen. So what I've done is I've now got a 6-inch charge from that unit, and I'm completely blocked by line of sight. So a really good tactic with the Harlequins is to, when you possibly can, keep them out of line of sight. And I mean, that sort of goes for anything really.
Yeah, absolutely.
But with super squishy units like the Harlequins, it just makes sense to keep them there. So, and it also means I can see how the first turn goes, and I then don't have to charge if I don't want to. I've just put them, because I've advanced them in the movement, in the psychic phase, because they have advanced, I've just put them and given them a 3-up invuln, and also these guys also advanced, and they also have a 3-up invuln. But got some charges on, and I'm all within 24 inches of the big knight with the haywire. I was tempted to redeploy over to that position and try and take out some sentinels, but what I thought was, while I've got my haywire, I've got to try and do a number on the knight. Even if I can bracket him and make Dan spend some resources to keep him going, then I'm going to use these bikes as best as I possibly can to keep them firing on all cylinders and take him down a peg or two. So we'll see if that was Dan's first mistake, but who knows? We shall see.
I think it might be.
There's a lot of screen to get through. What's going on, Dan?
So I'm getting absolutely railed by Harlequins.
So I made my charge, and I basically charged real wide, so I'm I killed a few guys over there, but we've got some fancy shenanigans going on where basically what I'm trying to do is tri-point this guy right here, but you've got to remove a model. Now, if you remove him, it's going to make it really challenging for me to lock you in combat.
Yeah.
But I've got another trick up my sleeve.
You can fight again.
Which means I can pile in and consolidate once more. Give me another 6-inch cheeky movement.
Yeah.
So,
what do I do? Do I pull the model?
It does make me spend 3 CPs.
Yeah, but it also makes you hurt me. I'm going to pull him.
It's going to pull him. Now that's put me in a predicament. So, the bikes can pile in essentially, or consolidate, so I need to do that now.
Yep. Alright Steve, let's have a bit of a rundown of your first turn.
Well, tried to do one of two things, and I failed at both. So what I did was I moved the haywire bikes forward, laid off loads of shots, averaged 22 shots, missed with loads, then wounded with, I put 12 mortal wounds through, and a good bit of sportsmanship here. I reminded Dan for 1 CP that he can ignore mortal wounds on 5s. And do you know what happened? He rolled 8 out of 12 5-ups. So the knight took 6 wounds because he failed 2 armor saves. So I could have literally got my 4 points pretty much in one go, but I've just done 6 wounds. Great. So I scored 1 bonus point for that. So I failed to do anything to him. I then fought over here. I did really well, ignoring the overwatch, piling in, and all that kind of good stuff, but didn't quite get able to trap anyone. As much as we tried, couldn't do it. So yeah, I haven't wrapped anything, which means all these guys are going to fall back and I'm going to lose all these beautiful Harlequins. I was considering spending 3 CPs, but there's no way I can possibly do it. So it's kind of pointless because there's too many units going on here. Yeah, I need to replay the footage, see if there's a mistake made or see if you can actually do that, but there probably is a way, but it is so difficult to get it right. So difficult. And it just takes loads of repetitions with an army to really get it absolutely spot on. So yeah, failed at both. So what I have done though is I have killed the Sentinel, killed a unit. So I've killed 2 things this turn. And I'm on currently 1, 2, 3, 4 objectives. So that's what I'm currently holding. Dan's going to have a very difficult job at holding more, and he might kill more though, that's the problem.
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, and also failed my advance that I needed with this character here, which basically meant I can't get my bonus points because I would have just dropped the character off over there as well. But anyway, it's all to play for. That's my turn 1 over. Right, Dan, so it's your turn 1. What are you about to do? What is your key objective
My
here?
key objective, I'm accepting that I'm not going to hold more this turn. So as it stands, Steve sat on 4 of the 5 objectives. I'm not going to get him off enough of those and get onto them to be able to score hold more this turn, so I'm basically going to ignore that. I've got my home objective, which is going to score me my point. What's giving me an issue at the moment really is everything in the middle here, and as Steve just said, kind of struggled to trap something, so I am going to be able to fall back, which means I've pretty much got 3 shots on everything here, so I'm hoping I'll clear out this big unit, and I will also hopefully be able to do some work on the jet bikes as well. So they've been the kind of biggest threat to my knight. So hopefully, yeah, I'll be able to deal with these things in front of me here. The other thing I have still got to think about is Steve's obviously got a few units in Deep Strike. So he's got another unit of the players and he's got 3 units of Scourges sat waiting to come in as well. So I can't completely forget about those, so I still need to think a little bit about my screens to push him back.
One thing I forgot is I did get Recon.
You did get Recon, yes. And I forgot that I even had to get that, so that's something for me to think about. I mean, realistically, I'll struggle to get that this turn. I don't think I'll be able to close enough distance on the board to get into all the quarters to actually do that. So, yeah, I think I've got a good chance to do some damage here, but actually, in terms of scoring, I'm going to struggle.
Well, mate, the way you roll, you'll be fine.
See what we can do.
You'll just table me in a turn.
No problem.
8 out of 12 5-ups.
Easy.
Right, sick.
Let's do it.
Makes me sick. Right, Dan, you're looking a bit smug.
It went okay. Could have been better, but it went okay. So pretty much as I had to do on that, a little bit of a cagey turn where I've had to basically pull back pull my units out of combat.
Yep.
Various orders have gone in to let these guys shoot it still, they fell back.
I played 2 CPs for -1 to hit
Yeah.
on my big unit of
Bikes.
Harley bikes.
Yeah.
There's no, because they're already -1 to hit, it's pointless doing it on the, I thought, let the infantry go,
Yeah.
try and keep the bikes alive.
And that sort of was, I think that was the right play. Infantry died, had a lot of just crappy lasguns going into them, but that did the trick.
You had some really high rolling on your battle cannons.
Battle cannons did okay. Pretty much every battle cannon did 3 damage on the bikes.
And you were averaging what, 8 to 10 shots of battle cannon?
Yeah, something like that.
And I rolled 3 up saves with a 50% rate, so that wasn't great.
Yeah,
if I'm honest.
one thing is the knight whiffed. I don't think the knight actually.
Yeah.
Well, the knight didn't do anything.
With the -2, that really hurt him. Yeah.
So he did absolutely nothing. But the battle cannons just cleared off the jet bikes.
Goes to show knights aren't everything.
No, they're not. They're not as efficient as the guard, to be honest. But yeah, there we go. So that bit's cleared here. What I've also done is put 4 wounds on this transport over here. So I had to go into that with the
His battle cannon.
So when Steve pulled his models over here, he effectively pulled out of line of sight.
Yeah.
So this guy couldn't actually come into here anyway. So he's gone into there, got 4 wounds through. So not enough to kill it, not enough to get the troops out from inside.
So scores on the doors. You killed 2, I killed 2.
Yeah. So we're level on that.
I control 4, you control 1, so I think I culled a little bit more. So that takes me up to 5.
Yep. And I scored my first strike. I did not score recon because, as you'll see, I am absolutely pinned back in a corner at the moment.
So you scored 2 points for first strike and then
3 points. So first strike, hold a thing, kill a thing.
Nice. So currently it is 5 to me and 3 to you.
Yeah.
But I've not got any haywire left.
No, but you've still got
some fusion
stuff on the board.
I've got some fusion left, and I'm going to do all I can to play this game out and score as many points as I can. Right.
Let's do it. Round 2.
Round 2.
Stephen.
Yes.
What's happened?
Well, as you know, I was in a bit of a tight spot, so I worked some tactical genius, if I say so myself, and I had the Star Weaver here. Okay. So what I did was I moved him out of line of sight. Okay. Moved him over there, and you'll realise he's not there anymore. Now, what I also did was move 2 Star Weavers, which were here, to there, another blank spot, and I'm going to get onto that in a moment. This is what I call the old Harlequin trickery. Now, these 6 guys shouldn't be there, they're dead.
Yeah.
So, what I did was move them both within 6 inches of the tank commander that was in the corner. So, I'll come on to that in a moment, but that was my intention, was to basically fusion that thing. Now, I dropped in my haywire, I dropped in my scourges, and I dropped in some Harlequin troops at the back there. Now, I do have a character on 3 objectives, so I'm going to get the bonus point as well. I'm also going to get recon this turn as well, because... Actually, no, I'm not. I'm not going to get recon this turn. Oh no, this guy gets me recon. Here, I do get recon this turn, luckily. So I'm going to get the bonus point for that. Obviously hold, obviously killed something. We've got a morale test here to make in a moment. So that's going to potentially be another kill. But what I did was use the psychic power to move again. So that Harlequin ship then moved to here, okay, to then put some shots on Pask. Now he did unfortunately completely whiff, so it didn't do anything. But the Star Weaver in the corner did blow up the tank commander, which then caused him to blow up, which then actually caused me to blow up, which now means he's dead, but then the troops outside got out and then they charged, okay? Which is why they're there, and they've also just tagged the mortars. Then what I did with this guy that was here was I shot the regular guns and then I fire and faded. Dan didn't realise that I had that ability, did you?
No.
Because you moved, you had a screen here.
And I pulled the wrong models.
And you pulled the wrong models, which allowed me to get in here within 6 of here, and I've now done 7 wounds to this tank commander. And then the Solitaire, as you can see, is also in combat with him. Blitzed, moved and advanced to get to here. And you'd left quite a big gap.
Yep.
So I could fit my base through, so he attacked the Cadians. The unit became equidistant between the two. You removed the models. I then piled into the squad of mortars and the tank commander, which means he cannot fall back and shoot, okay, with the mortars or the tank commander. Okay, so good play by me there. Is it enough? We'll see. I can't touch the knight. I'm just going to have to literally write him off now. It's pointless. I could have. The obvious mistake you would have made with the fusion was to go here. Because 5 fusion shots, the way I roll, 3 hit. Let's say 4 hit. Let's say I actually rolled averagely, 4 hit. Then you rotate iron shields. I wound on, I need to be careful how I do this. I wound on 4s. Okay, again, you know my rolling. So 2 then hit or wound. You've then got a 3-up incredible save and you probably re-roll anyway. Yeah. So I wouldn't do any damage at all. So it's kind of pointless and I'm better off just getting rid of the tank commanders because they are what's hurting me most at the moment. So yeah, but I lost my troop master to Catachans in combat. How that happens, I'll never know. Anyway, so that's my turn. So I scored something for kill, so it takes me to 6. I hold 7, bonus point 8.
Good work.
Yeah, nice.
Very good turn.
And I also get Recon 9.
I think I'm going to struggle to make up the points here.
And did I choose Big Game Hunter or not? No, it was not one of my secondaries. Wish I did now. We're not sure how many Reaper boys I've actually killed yet. We'll tally that up at the end. Still more guardsmen to kill though. Dan's turn 2. So we're just in Dan's movement phase. And what have you done, Dan?
I have wrapped this transport, which still has 5 of his troops in, with the fusion pistols.
Now, tell us about the wrapping technique.
Plan here being, this has got things inside, so if I blow this up, they have to get out. And those models need to be placed within 3 inches, but still more than an inch away from my models.
Before the model is removed?
Yeah, so he can't use the space that it creates to put his models.
So basically, there's no way around here, sorry for the shadow of the camera by the way, but there's no way I can place down anything. So if he's dead, then I lose all the models inside. Now, because what I was really hoping was to basically do some damage to Pask, but because he kind of whiffed, it was a bit of a shame. I'm kind of swapping. That was my sort of rook for a rook, so to speak. Yeah. My rook just failed to even be a pawn, so yeah. But you've done some other fallback manoeuvres over here, which is quite cool. Yeah. So this kind of has to go, really, doesn't it?
Yeah,
really?
I think it does. Let's hope it does.
Oh, and also you managed to roll extremely high on your morale, and therefore remove. Yeah. So now my succubus, unfortunately, the poor lady, is now about to get shot in the face because she's got a shard net. The one reason why I took her is so this lovely shard net she's got on the back there means that you need to roll a d3 to leave combat, and I roll a d6, and you need to beat me. But you just remove the models from morale.
Morale helps. Morale is a good way to get out of combat.
The game is extremely tense and close at the moment. Yeah. I'm up by a lot of points, but I've got a lot of squishy units left, and I'm not wrapping anything. This tank commander can't fire, but apart from that, it's pretty close, and it's a really tight game. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
I only just need to hold my lead.
See what happens.
So Dan, another smug look on your face again.
I don't know about smug because I'm still way behind, but I've dealt with some of the issues that I had.
My rolling today, it's not been great, has it?
It's not been the best. My rolling left me, but luckily it left me on the mortars that had fallen back from combat and been ordered to shoot. So they weren't doing a lot anyway, so it's fine. So what have I done? I have so this little wrapping trick over here worked beautifully.
It did.
Shot out the Star Weaver that was there, and the troops inside are all dead.
And my poor Solitaire.
Solitaire just got lasgunned.
Whiffed all his rolls.
Yeah, he couldn't save himself. Got lasgunned, got mortared.
I lost another 4.
Yes, we've got
troops.
morale actually on this guy.
They also didn't.
In a minute.
They also didn't. 5. Great.
9. Is he dead?
Did I lose any in the turn before? Did I have 4?
So you lost 4 that turn on him.
Great. Yep. So he's dead then. Excellent. The time I want to roll a 1. No.
And the Scourge as well lost 4. Leadership.
Literally, it's killing me.
So all told, then that's it.
Guys, when I say I roll badly,
he just times them badly.
It's just these critical rolls that just go the wrong way for me every time. It's a curse.
It is a curse.
I would be good at this game if I could roll.
Yeah. Well, so all told then, what's happened? So in that turn, I've killed this thing with the troop inside.
Yep.
I've killed the succubus with the shard net thing here with some.
So you killed 3, 4 the solitaire.
Yeah, killed the solitaire. Unit was here.
5 scourges, 6,
scourges,
and 7. So 7. You killed 7 units this turn.
Yeah, so lots of kills.
I think you killed more than me.
I think I did.
So that's a point to you. That's a bonus point.
I only hold 2 at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, I hold 1, and I'm contesting 1.
And I hold 3.
Yeah.
So put me up to 10.
Yep.
And you go up to.
I killed a thing. I killed more things, and I hold a thing. So I scored 3.
You're up to 6.
I'm up to 6.
You didn't get any secondaries, right?
I did not get my recon because I am actually, in hindsight, terrible choice already. Not going to score recon. What else do I choose? Old school, so can't score that yet anyway.
You're probably going to table me.
But I might table him.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think what I did do in that turn is kill all 10 of the scourges, which are pretty solid anti-infantry, so hopefully that means my infantry are a bit harder to shift now, but we'll see.
It's pretty much game at this point. But we'll see. I'll see what
happens. You can work some magic. I've seen it before.
I'm going to have to employ all my top tactics and hopefully that I roll better.
Gonna see something special.
Yeah, I can do this.
Turn 3. Stephen, turn 3. Tell me what happened.
Wasn't too bad actually. So what happened? What happened? Basically, I did quite well. And basically what I did was kill 2 tank commanders. I used the fusions. I got my boys out from here, spread them in this area, used the fusion pistols on this one. Well, sorry, first of all, I used a haywire on this guy, took him down to a couple of wounds left.
Yep.
My troop master removed him down to 1 wound left, split fired, killed them both with the trooper squad. They then charged into here and jumped back into there for using their stratagem for soaring spite. Now, because these guys are getting me recon at the moment, I've got basically a unit there in that one. Is my troop master on that side of the board or on this side?
We might have to measure. He's that side of the objective, so.
Is this any part of his base?
Yeah, so he's a little bit. Well, yeah, you have to measure him. I think he's probably okay.
36.
Yeah, so I think he's good if he's there.
That's 36.
Not quite. No.
Oh, I just missed out on recon then. Should have just moved in basically a little smidge, but hey, that is what it is. I would have had the movement, but I should have double checked. That's my fault for not being diligent enough. And again, unfortunately, I moved the solid, and I would have had another opportunity here just to literally done that. But again, need to think about these things, get those reps in. But I do have, the reason why I double moved him was to basically have 3 characters on 3 objectives to get me that bonus point. So I did kill something which takes me up to 11. I control something which takes me up to 12. And then didn't get recon because you're a silly boy, Stephen. Then what else happened?
You've got your character bonus point. 3 characters on objectives.
Yes. And that is that.
That's you.
Harlequins failed to charge, so they're going to die. That's only got 1 wound left now, so that's going to die.
But you're far up on points.
Yeah, and how many units did I kill?
I'm going to have to total that up in a minute.
I killed
2 tank commanders.
2 tank commanders, the mortar team.
A mortar team, yeah.
The company commander.
So 4 units.
4 units, and these guys need a morale check.
They do, so they lost 4.
Yeah, shall I roll it for you?
Nope. I'm going to... absolutely not. I'm going to spend a CP to roll it on D3. And as a result of that, I'm going to roll... Even if I roll a 3, I'm 7, so I'm sound. No one's going. Sorry, Stephen.
Cool. So,
and
do I steal your CP?
Left.
Roll a 1. Ah,
absolutely not.
Not today. Right, so I'm on 13 and you're on 6.
Yeah, so big point lead at this stage. I've probably got more on the table, but... And this is going into my turn 3, so I've still got some scope to make it up here, but yeah, it's quite a deficit.
Quite a deficit.
We'll see. Turn 3.
Here we go. Right, Dan.
Turn 3.
How's it going, mate?
Quite well, I think.
These erring.
Yeah.
You've said every game, every turn.
Well, because I get nervous, don't I?
You do get a little bit
The
nervous.
Harlequins are fast, they do crazy things. Yeah, so that turn went pretty well. I've kind of cleared out quite a bit of the stuff that was in my back screen. The transport here is gone, the guys inside got out, managed to... So Steve had actually positioned his Star Weaver perfectly here. It is a Star Weaver, right?
Yeah.
Perfectly here, just shy of 3 inches from this wall. So when I blew it up,
My bases were just inside 3.
So perfect positioning there on his part. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he meant to do it. So I went into those guys with mortars and indirect stuff and sort of take a few of those off. I've pushed my block of infantry here up the board a little bit. They've pushed in basically to get me recon, so I needed to get something into this quarter over here.
Yep.
They've taken out the Death Jester on the way.
Killed the Scourges.
Killed the Scourges up here.
You killed my screen.
Killed the stuff at the back here. Killed another unit over here.
I lost some more boys to morale again. So you scored 2 points for killing and holding.
Yeah, so I've got, is this one mine?
No, you're on the little one.
That's this one. So I've got 2 for that, so that puts me 7, 8.
And then kill more.
I've killed more, and I've held more.
And
I've got recon.
Yeah.
So it puts me up to 11, so it's 13, 11 at the end of turn 3.
I thought I was on 14.
Well, you've got a 3 on here.
Okay, we'll have to check back.
If you're on 14, it's 14, 11.
We will check back. Could be. I'll keep score anyway on the old thingy. Or maybe it was going to go up to 14 because I forgot to give myself recon. No, I think that's right.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Sweet.
My next turn, I don't really...
4.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 models left on the board. It's not gone well. This game, I think.
I think it might be.
I think this game. But we don't know how many Reaper I've got yet.
Yeah,
that could be another 4-pointer.
Yeah, it may well be.
So we'll see. We'll see what I can do.
Let's do it. Stephen, turn 4, sorry.
It wasn't a great turn for me. Whiffed a bit. Moved my Shadow Seer from here behind cover, then moved her again to really get her out of the way. Then just kept my Troop Master back to basically get me holding a point. And I kind of really whiffed over here. I was hoping to basically clear these 2 off this objective, but didn't kill them. Should have, but didn't. So
killed 4, didn't you? But should have done better.
Yeah, so it was a bit annoying. And then you spent another CP to basically auto pass the morale on the D3. So yeah, a bit annoying that. But anyway, here's what it is. But I do get 1 point for just basically controlling something. So that takes me up to 14. I was tempted to come forward with the Shadow Seer and do a smite on this, because if I take 2 more wounds off it, then I would get another point there. But when you think about it, by keeping her in the game, that allows me another turn to then score another point later on. Because I've got to get smite off, I've then got to roll a 2 damage, and then if I was you've got loads of CPs left, you'd play 1 CP and try and ignore them on 5s anyway. And knowing Dan's roll, he'd probably roll them.
Absolutely.
He'd just go, 2 5s.
Not
I can't. I roll a 4. I roll a 1 and a 3. So anyway, yeah, that's my turn. So I just score 1 point. Right, Dan, your turn 4.
Yeah, pretty quick roundup.
Very quick.
Pretty much killed the things over here. The last troop, the
Troop Master.
Troop Master that was over here.
Killed the Troop Master over here with your mortars.
Yeah. I've moved characters onto 3 objectives, so I've now got those 3 for the bonus point.
Cool.
Took the Iron Storm into the Seer over there, taking him down to 1 wound. So I've got hold a thing, hold more, kill a thing, kill more,
And the bonus. 5 more points.
Recon.
And recon, 6 more points.
6 points in that one.
Massive.
So that puts me up to 17. So 17, 14 at the end of turn 4.
17, 14. Wow.
1 turn left.
Not going well for me. Right. I'm going to show you what happened in this turn. This is the story of my life when I play Warhammer. Shadow Seer moves forward. Cast the power to move again. Moves to here. Tried to smite. I rolled a 1 and a 2. Yeah, didn't smite. Didn't even roll a 5. So I then shot. I hit. All I've got to do is roll a 7, equals to their leadership to kill them. No, don't do that. So I was like, okay, I'll charge. Dan rolls 4 shots. 1 hits. 1 wounds. And I rolled a 1. So not only did I not kill anything, Dan gets Warlord. I literally want to cry.
I mean, I feel a little bit guilty that it had to end that way, but...
It did. So I probably score, I mean, with that, I probably, killed 60 boys?
Yeah, I think so.
How many
have I got left? So there's...
6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 33.
So you killed 57 of my troops, but then you've killed other stuff as well. So you definitely got 3 Reaper points.
Cool. So that takes me up to 17. And then you would get basically another 2 rounds of... You can't kill anything in this turn.
Nope.
But you'd max out your... basically, you'd get 2 more lots of holding. So that takes you up to 19. You also then hold more, so that takes you up to 21. You then are going to get your character thing for 2 more turns, which takes you up to 23.
Yep.
You then...
Line breaker.
You didn't kill something in the last turn of the game. You are going to get line breaker.
I would get kill more in 5, so even though I didn't kill it in my turn, I killed your thing in your turn in Overwatch.
Yep. Cool.
So yeah. It's a good game.
And then you get Recon for 2 more?
Yes.
Yep. So the scores are 27 to Dan. And then you get, what was the thing? Hold ground?
Oh, ground control.
For 4.
Yeah.
So that goes up to 31. So 31 plays 17 to the Harlequins. Now, yeah. So, the roundup.
The roundup.
Should we start with me?
Yeah.
How I thought it went?
Yeah, what do you think?
So let's start from deployment.
Yeah.
Did I deploy poorly? I don't think I did. The only thing I possibly could have done was put my Scourges on the board, move them forward shot.
Yep.
But the reason why I put them in deep strikes because I was going first.
Yeah.
So if I put them out, they probably die.
Yeah, they're pretty squishy.
So I think I did the right thing there. But having the first turn did help. I was never going to get my fusion boys in range because we're playing Hammer and Anvil. It's a really bad deployment for me.
So it's a great deployment for me, to be honest.
Because I can't get I just can't get... Dawn of War, I can get my my Star Weavers within 22 inches.
I was going to say, you get everything in the mix straight away, don't you? So.
Yeah. So I need 2 or 3 turns here to actually get them in.
Yeah.
So deployment-wise, I was pretty happy. What about you?
Yeah, I think I think your deployment was what it needed to be. The kind of you played the Sky Weavers quite aggressively, but that was the right play because you could redeploy them if you needed to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think there's any issue with the deployment. I think mine was okay. It wasn't terrible. I think I made a bit of a mistake early on with effectively I had my screen a bit too far forward.
Yeah.
There was no need to do that. I kind of gave Steve first turn essentially a way to hide his troop and then jump out with a 6-inch charge when I couldn't overwatch him. And Overwatch isn't amazing, but to be honest, like against Harlequins, they are squishy, and everyone you kill makes a big difference. So yeah, that was just a bit of a misplay at the start. But aside from that, I think I did most of what I needed to do with my screening. I kind of blocked off my tanks and things. So
yeah, pretty
could have been better, but it wasn't a disaster.
Yeah, I think my mistake I made was telling you about the stratagem.
Oh yeah. He's a gentleman. He's the one who tells me to use a knight, so he's got to tell me how to play it.
Where you roll the 8 out of 12 5-ups on the knight. That's pretty big because that makes you, for a start, gives me hope that I can kill it.
Yeah.
And also costs you a CP every single turn then, which is really big. Then the other thing is as well, that gets me more points for my...
You would have maxed out
because
points on that.
Because that's essentially a secondary there that I'm not going to get.
Yeah. And I mean, when we talked through this at the start, when you're picking your secondaries, the fact that you can get a point for every 4 damage on that, and on average, those Sky Weavers in 1 round will basically max that for you.
Yeah.
It just so happened that.
It didn't.
It didn't, which is a bit unfortunate.
Yeah. I think the way that the combat didn't pan out quite the way I wanted.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have just gone in against the 1 squad. But then I would have had too many people to attack, and you would have removed more models anyway.
Yeah, what I would say is what you could perhaps try and do is literally just use your charge move to position everything around, put 1 guy within an inch, and then everything just mobs in after that. So you're only attacking with literally 1 guy.
Yeah.
Giving up all of your attacks to just wrap something. I think the issue with that probably makes that a little bit difficult is that I had like 4 units strung across the board, so it's quite hard to actually get behind something without clearing a way through first.
Or maybe because I didn't quite have the charge range I wanted, maybe I should have actually soaked up the overwatch. Just took the overwatch on the chin.
Yeah, and been...
And actually just then, whatever it was, then basically get right round the back of you. Maybe I should have done that.
Yeah, perhaps. It's quite tricky to play it through now, isn't it?
Yeah. Because at the time, you're like, yeah, it is the right play to try and keep them out of line of sight.
Yeah.
And obviously avoid overwatch. But,
yeah,
hey, you live and learn. And I mean, you hit back with so many attacks as
Yeah,
well.
I think
it's really surprising, from the Catachans, the extra attacks from the Priests.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing with this list, I think, it depends on what you're playing, but against Harlequins in particular, you know, I've got a lot of attacks with the buffs coming in. I've got 3 attacks each, hitting on 4s, wounded on 3s. They're going to chew through those models pretty fast.
Yeah.
And, you know, you don't have a lot of bodies on the table.
Yeah.
Got the stratagem as well from Vigilus, which lets me start a fight phase, spend my 2 CP, and I can fight when I die.
That's nice. Killed a lot by that.
I didn't use it loads, but there was one round where I used it where I lost.
Killed 4 Harlequins?
Yeah, six guys who punch back, killed 4 Harlequins. So, situationally, that just gives you the tools. So, yeah, I'm quite liking that.
It's a good list, mate.
Yeah.
Really good list.
Yeah, and I think I'll say, like, this is the list that I'm going to be playing at a tournament fairly soon. So I'm kind of just trying to get a bit used to it. And Steve could take some lists which give me a real hard time with this, but I think the Harlequins were. Yeah, it was a really good game. It was a very enjoyable game to play.
It really stressed me. Like, I put some tactics in there that really made me work for it, like redeploying the unit there to then bounce across, not killing that tank with that whole. That was big. Because he just cut that whole unit whiffed in consistently. There'd been literally point click dead on those tank commanders. So bit gutted, because if I'd have killed Pask and basically 3 tank commanders in one turn,
that's devastating. That's
really big then, and I can start to tighten, and it puts a lot more pressure on you. I think I played the right technique by going round that flank, because it was a lot more exposed. Obviously the knight's not there, because I just want to avoid him like the plague. He can only do so much in the game.
Yeah, and I think he basically picked a unit each turn to delete. And you know, that is not devastating. It hurts, but it's not. Not the end of the world. Thermal cannon was utterly useless. Didn't do anything. I think you played very well in terms of your movement around here, and that just one of the things which I know is definitely a weakness of this list, and something that I need to kind of make sure I learn how to play around as much as I can. Is I've got a lot of points in my tanks, and they get tagged. That's it. They're shut down. So Steve played on that, and he took every opportunity he could to just slot his models through. Solitaire doing his blitz attack, 25-inch move. Found a gap that I'd left in my screen because I hadn't kept my screen tight enough. Pushes through, touches a tank commander, locks it down. That's it. And it's exactly those kind of plays that if someone can do that to me quite effectively, like Steve did, you can shut down a lot of the power in this list. So a few learning points for me, I think, there in terms of how I screen against that.
I think the difference in this game, because it was close. The rolls were not in my favour today.
No, they weren't.
You know, my saving was just pretty bad. Like even on my 3-up saves on the Harlequin bikes, I failed more 3-ups than I passed. And you rolled 3
damage for everything.
And you were consistently getting the high damage rolls. But that being said, it was still a close game.
Yeah, it was.
Really enjoyable game. And I think if this is Dawn of War or Pointy Dawn of War, this is a completely different game altogether. So you can't just look at that and think, right, I beat Harlequins with this list.
Oh no, I know I have a tough match against them in some deployments for sure.
And I also can't think I lose to Guard. So when you are thinking about the meta and what your list is good against, remember when you're building your list, always think about what is its strengths, what is its weaknesses. Are there any opportunities to improve it, and also what are your threats as well? So you always want to make sure you're bringing in things like me bringing in my witch to basically keep things locked in combat. Didn't work today because of your morale.
So one thing doesn't help against.
Rolled that 6 and you just removed all those models.
I will say on that, I think that the average rolling in this has probably gone my way, but more importantly, there's been some critical things which have they've swung my way when they needed to, which things like that do help.
I really love my list actually.
That's great.
Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed playing with it. It's so fun. Quite stressful.
As I said, the problem is every movement matters, and every single action you're taking with that list needs to be so precise for it to work.
What are your thoughts on the night?
I like it. I'm still not sold that it's the be all and end all, but it does a job, and I think what it does do, not so much in this game because you're too fast and you can get in the back anyway, but in a lot of games I think its main purpose really, just be a nuisance, push it forward, draw fire. Hopefully, I don't care if it dies turn 1, turn 2, whatever, as long as it's soaking up fire that's not going on with tank commanders. And I think it does fill that role perfectly well. So.
Yeah, he's a bully.
Yeah.
And I think far too many people are aggressive with him.
Yeah.
But what you did well was hold him. If you play knights, don't just think you have to go and gun blazing.
Yeah.
Don't ram it down your opponent's throat. Keep him back as a counter punch.
Yeah.
He's your best combat unit.
Yeah.
Anyway, but you know, keeping him back, using your range, and then only when he needs to, then coming forward. And remember, because I think if you can keep a knight alive until turn 3,
towards the end of that game,
untouchable.
At that point, you can't touch him, and he is pretty devastating at that point.
Yeah.
At the same time, I would happily sacrifice him turn 1 if it meant all 4 of my tank commanders stayed alive.
Yeah.
Because they're the workhorses, to be honest. So yeah, he just adds a nice bit of utility to the list. So
would you change anything
in my list?
Mm-hmm.
I need to think that one through. I do quite like it. I think there probably are a few tweaks I can make around the edges, but I quite enjoyed it. I think I'm definitely going to give it a run for at least a tournament and see where we go.
And this is what you're going to run for Battlefield
Birmingham, yes. That's the plan.
Which will probably be after, that will probably be before this video gets released anyway, so you're not revealing your secrets yet.
No.
But this will probably be your Battlefield Birmingham list.
Yep.
I'm probably not taking this list.
I think not.
As much as I would happily do that,
yeah.
I want to keep testing the Death Watch and my current list that I'm running a lot, because I've got the repetitions in with it, I know how it plays, and obviously my big tournament this year is that Warhammer World GT, which will probably be 2 days after I release this video.
That's a big one.
So
I'm going to get prepped for that.
I'm going to say it now, it's mine.
It's happening.
Final
Right.
winner.
Put it past him.
All my bad dice roll that have happened over the last few tournaments and games is going to come to an end. The curse is going to be over, and I'm going to be showered in 6s. And the only roll I'm going to worry about is rolling for morale, which I consistently did.
Yeah, I'd say you nailed that today.
5, 6. Oh, just take more. Anyway, so no, really excited about that. If I was to change anything in my list, I would probably just put another unit of Harlequin bikes in.
Yeah.
Having the double threat is incredible.
Yeah, it gives you that, on average, you kill a knight in a turn.
I would just get rid of the Dark Eldar detachment, put in another unit of those Soaring Spite. I really like the fusion pistol actually. They were cool.
Yeah.
In the trick with the fire and fade.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, and that caught me off guard definitely, and I think that will catch people off guard. And I think that is the thing with it, your army, it's full of tricks. And I think, I'm not saying that I'm a great player by any stretch, but I've got some idea about what it's going to do, because I've played Steve with his Harlequins quite a bit.
Like, I was gutted, when I rolled, when you killed my Solitaire with your bloody mortars, because I whiffed on my rolls, on the saves, on a 3-up invuln save, 1 CP, I can heroically intervene 6 inches.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So he would have just ate that entire squad that you left within 6.
And this is what I mean, there's these tricks. They've got all these tricks, and I don't know all of these things. I'm trying to learn them. I'm trying to learn this for all armies, but they have got so many ways to catch people off guard. And I think that makes quite a fun army to play.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah.
Right guys, well I hope you enjoyed that battle report. So again, if you want the army list broken down for you, you can get that over on our Patreon page.
Absolutely.
Which is, if you go on Patreon, just search for Vanguard Tactics. I'll put the link somewhere here so you can check that out. It's always in our description on our timeline. And also guys, if you are a subscriber and a Patreon, we cannot thank you enough for supporting our channel. It helps us just have nice terrain for you.
It makes a world of difference.
Yeah, even get things like light boxes and stuff, just so we can make better battle reports for you guys. And it helps us bring more models to the table and all those little things. So guys, we cannot thank you enough. And also to all of our guys in our mentorship who are our watch captains, massive thank you to you guys for all your support. And if you would like to become a watch captain on our mentorship, and we do bi-weekly mentor videos that I run, and obviously I bring these other guys in to bring on their expertise, and it's basically coaching. So if you want to become a better 40k gamer, head over to Patreon and grab your space. If they are all gone, because they might be by now, then just drop me an email and I'll put you on the reserve list. So without further ado guys, thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and please also give us a massive thumbs up, because it really helps us you know, reach a wider, broader audience. And if you'd have done anything different, let us know. Put it in the comment section below.
Yeah, all the feedback helps massively. Like, we've had a lot of really positive feedback. We've had a lot of constructive feedback. So yeah, just keep that coming. It's perfect.
And guys, I'm sorry there was no time lapse today. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out. My phone died during the recording. It is what it is. So we've tried to give you a good enough commentary anyway. So hopefully that won't cause too much of problems, and that will be back hopefully for our next battle report, because I know you guys enjoy it. But yeah, if tactically you'd have done anything differently, let us know as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you'd have deployed differently, let us know. We can learn, Dan can learn. You know, we're not absolute pros at this game.
No.
We want to get better as well as you. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next week for another Ask VT live show, and also another battle report in the future.
Awesome. Cheers, guys.
See you later. Mate, good roundup.
Lovely. Oh, I'm so tired. I've just realised that my list might be illegal.
Why?
I've got four HQs in a battalion. Can you have 4?
No, you can have 3.
So I'm going to have to put one of my tank commanders as catcher.
Okay, fine.